When the collapse hits, and make no mistake, your dollars will be nothing more than scraps of paper. Gold? Useless. Crypto? Try charging your digital wallet when the power grid is gone. The truth is, real power in a collapse won't be measured in money at all. It will be measured in the things that keep people alive, the things that keep them warm, fed, healthy, and just a little bit sane. That will be the new currency. And if you've got the right items tucked away, you won't just scrape by, you'll have leverage, influence, and the ability to walk through chaos like you own the market. But only if you prepare now, before the panic sets in. That's why today, I'm exposing 10 overlooked, dirt cheap items that most people ignore, yet they'll explode in value the moment society crumbles. No gimmicks, no filler, just the kind of survival essentials that desperate people will fight tooth and nail to get their hands on. So if you're not prepping with this mindset, it's time to change that today. Hit that subscribe button right now, because here we don't just stockpile supplies, we stockpile power. Let's start with the first overlooked survival goldmine, laundry detergent. Now I know what you're thinking, laundry soap. Really? But listen carefully, because this tiny detail might be the difference between staying healthy or watching everything fall apart. In a collapse, everyone thinks first about food, water, and weapons. And yes, those matter, but here's the brutal reality: without proper sanitation, sickness will spread like wildfire. No hospitals, no antibiotics, no second chances. That's when something as simple as detergent transforms into survival treasure. Dirty clothes, especially socks and underwear, are breeding grounds for bacteria and fungi. A minor infection on your skin can turn into a deadly wound in days when medical help doesn't exist. Clean clothes aren't about looking good, they're about staying alive. And that's why laundry detergent will dominate barter markets. Here's the trick: it's not the giant plastic tubs of liquid soap you want. Those are heavy, messy, and impossible to divide fairly. The real king is powdered detergent. It's lightweight, compact, easy to store for years, and simple to trade in small portions. Imagine scooping out just enough into little sealed bags. Suddenly, you've got ready-to-go trade packs that can buy you food, fuel, or medicine, when no one else has options. And it's not just hygiene you're trading, it's hope. Picture a world where everything smells of sweat, smoke, and rot. Then picture handing someone a scoop of detergent that makes their clothes smell fresh again. That moment of normalcy, that fleeting reminder of the world they lost, that's worth more than gold. Laundry detergent isn't just soap, it's protection, it's dignity. And in the chaos of collapse, it's one of the smartest currencies you can stack. Survival doesn't just come from stockpiling guns, food, and water, it comes from the quiet items no one sees coming. And the next one, it's a white powder with serious power. Not drugs, not flour. I'm talking about one of the most underrated survival tools in history, baking soda. At first glance, it's just that cheap little box you toss in the back of your pantry. But when society collapses, this humble powder transforms into survival gold. Sodium bicarbonate is no longer just for cookies or muffins, it becomes one of the most valuable and versatile barter items you could ever hold. Ignore it, and you're making a huge prepping mistake. Think about hygiene. The moment store shelves are stripped bare, toothpaste is gone. But with a pinch of baking soda and water, you've got an instant teeth cleaner. No toothpaste? No problem. Need deodorant? Baking soda's natural ability to kill odor keeps you fresh when soap and sprays are long gone. And here's a shocker: in a world where water sources may turn acidic or foul, a little baking soda can help balance pH, making borderline water more drinkable. And that's just the start. In daily survival, baking soda becomes your emergency cleaner. It scrubs away grime from cookware, clothing, and even the walls of your shelter. Got mildew or foul smells creeping in? Baking soda neutralizes them fast. Small fire in your camp kitchen? Sprinkle it, and you've got a fire suppressant. Feeling heartburn or indigestion from a sketchy meal? One spoonful in water, and you've just neutralized stomach acid, no pharmacy needed. But here's where its barter value explodes. Baking soda is cheap, tiny, and lasts for years if sealed correctly. That means you can buy it in bulk right now, pack it into airtight jars or little snack-sized baggies, and instantly create survival currency. Just like detergent, people won't trade for a giant box, they'll trade for small, usable amounts. And when the air smells like sweat, spoiled food, and rot, guess who's going to be holding the powder that makes life a little more livable? You. And here's the real kicker: almost no one is stockpiling it. Most preppers are laser-focused on canned goods, bullets, and batteries, overlooking this miracle powder completely. That blind spot is your opportunity. You can turn baking soda into one of the most demanded items in the collapse economy. It may not look glamorous now, but in the days of desperation, it will be dignity, hygiene, medicine, and fire protection, all rolled into one. That's why baking soda is one of the smartest, most powerful tools you can stack in your post-collapse arsenal. Now let's move to number 3. And this one is something most people take for granted every single day. Yet when it disappears, people will trade almost anything to get their hands on it. Vegetable oil. Think about this, when the grid is gone and supplies are scarce, even the simplest meal becomes a lifeline. A scoop of rice or a handful of beans might fill your stomach, but without fat, it won't fuel your body for long. That's where vegetable oil becomes survival gold. A few drops of oil can transform bland dry grains into something bearable. Wild plants, stringy meats, or foraged scraps can suddenly be sautéed into meals that actually taste edible. And in a collapse, calories stop being numbers on a box. They become the very energy that keeps you moving another day. But here's what most people don't realize. Vegetable oil is so much more than food. It doubles as fuel for oil lamps, giving you light when the nights go dark. It waterproofs fabrics and leather, keeping your gear protected from the elements. It works as a lubricant for tools and weapons, and even shields skin from harsh cold weather. That's why vegetable oil straddles the line between pantry staple and survival gear. It's not just about eating. It's about staying alive on multiple fronts. Here's the mistake most people make when stockpiling. They grab those giant gallon jugs from bulk stores, thinking bigger is better. Wrong. Once you crack open a jug, the clock is ticking. Oil can turn rancid fast, and those bulky containers are terrible for trading. You can't portion them out without risking spoilage or waste. The smarter move? Stock up on smaller sealed bottles. Half-liter or single-use sizes are perfect for storage, and they become high-value barter units when everything falls apart. Picture this. Your neighbor has a basement full of rice and grains, but none of it is edible without fat. You show up with a sealed bottle of oil, and suddenly you control the trade. That neighbor will give up food, batteries, or even medicine for something you bought today at a dollar store. That's leverage. And here's the beauty. When stored properly in a cool, dark place, vegetable oil can last far beyond the best buy date. That means a quiet investment today could turn into survival currency years down the line. One small sealed bottle could be worth more than gold when the shelves are empty and the lights are out. Which brings us to number 4, a survival item so cheap, so common, that most people laugh at the idea of stockpiling it. But in a collapse, it won't just be useful. It could literally mean the difference between life and death. I'm talking about the humble bar of soap. When systems fail and chaos takes over, hygiene is the first thing to slip. And when hygiene collapses, disease follows close behind. Dirty hands, contaminated food, untreated wounds. Without soap, you're gambling with your life every single day. Soap might seem trivial now, but in the aftermath of collapse, it will be one of the most priceless items anyone can hold. Bar soap is cheap, compact, and ridiculously easy to store. Unlike liquid soaps that spill, spoil, or waste away, a solid bar never goes bad. You can store dozens in a single container, and when it comes time to trade, you don't even need to barter the whole bar. Cut it into halves or quarters, and suddenly you've got multiple trade-ready pieces. But here's the trick, not all soap is equal. Forget the fancy scented ones, they're useless in survival. The real value is in plain or antibacterial bars. These clean wounds, sanitize hands, wash dishes, and even bring a moment of comfort to someone drowning in filth and fear. Because sometimes survival isn't just about staying alive, it's about holding on to your humanity. And here's the crazy part. Right now, you can walk into a store and buy an entire year's supply of bar soap for the price of one fast food meal. But after the collapse, that same bar could buy you food, fuel, or ammo. Soap becomes currency. The difference between health and disease, between order and chaos. And that's why you can't afford to overlook it. Bar soap isn't just about washing your hands, it's about keeping the collapse at arm's length. Now let's move into number 5. This one isn't glamorous either, but it's hands down one of the most versatile survival tools you can stock. People see it every day but never think twice. When the grid goes down though, it becomes a survival multi-tool. No one can live without heavy-duty trash bags. When the grid collapses and chaos takes over, even the simplest items can become life-saving tools. Take heavy-duty trash bags. Most people dismiss them as garbage holders, but in a survival scenario they are nothing short of priceless. With sanitation systems failing and waste piling up, pests and disease quickly become major threats. A roll of tough industrial-grade trash bags means you can store and dispose of your waste safely, cutting contamination risks and keeping your environment livable. But their value doesn't stop there. These bags are incredibly versatile. They can double as emergency ponchos, waterproof shelters, gear protectors, or even makeshift water carriers. In a collapse, a simple trash bag can save your life or someone else's. And here's the genius: they're lightweight, easy to store in bulk, and unlike food or medicine, they don't expire. One bin can hold hundreds, quietly waiting until the moment they become a trading powerhouse. The mistake most rookies make is buying flimsy kitchen-grade bags that tear under minimal strain. In survival, you need contractor-grade bags, strong enough to carry firewood, sharp tools, or even serve as a makeshift stretcher. Picture this: your neighbors are sitting on heaps of food and batteries, but their supplies are wet, infested, or useless because they didn't think ahead. You walk in with a roll of heavy-duty bags, and suddenly you hold the leverage. That roll, bought for pennies today, could secure canned food, propane, or even medical kits tomorrow. Keep them clean, dry, and vacuum-sealed, or stacked in sturdy tubs, and you've got a stealthy, high-value barter item ready when the world falls apart. Next up, number 6, analog thermometers. The gadget no one thinks about, but when the power grid fails, it may save your life. Forget your digital thermometers; they need batteries, screens, and software. When the lights go out, they become nothing more than expensive paperweights. A simple mercury-free analog thermometer, on the other hand, works purely on physics. No power, no batteries, no software updates, just pure reliability. Why does temperature monitoring matter so much? Fever is often the first sign of infection. In a collapse, early detection can mean the difference between life and death, especially when medical care is non-existent. Parents caring for children, or adults tending to elderly family members, will trade almost anything for a thermometer they can trust. It's universal, simple to use, and requires no technical knowledge, making it a perfect barter item. The key is buying them now, in bulk, and storing them in protective cases. Pair them with first aid kits, and you've just created a trade bundle with 10 times the value. Keep them shielded from extreme heat or physical damage, and when the moment comes, a single analog thermometer could fetch clean water, medicine, or food. It's a small, quiet tool that suddenly wields enormous power. Number 7 may seem trivial, but in survival, it's a literal lifesaver: sewing kits. When stores vanish and supply chains collapse, a small tear in a jacket or a ripped tarp isn't just annoying, it can be dangerous. Needles and thread, often tossed in a drawer and forgotten, become lifelines. Clothes rip, backpacks fray, tents tear, and when there's no way to replace them, the ability to repair essential gear is priceless. A sewing kit allows you to keep warm, stay dry, and extend the life of every piece of equipment you own. And in a barter economy, their value skyrockets. A kit today might cost a few dollars, but tomorrow it could secure food, fuel, or tools. It's not just craft supplies, it's survival stitched together. A single tear in a jacket or a ripped tarp might seem small now, but in a survival scenario, it can be the difference between staying warm or freezing, between comfort and serious danger. That's where sewing kits come in. A needle and strong thread can extend the life of your gear by months, or even years. That's not just useful, it's life extending. The beauty of sewing kits isn't just their power, it's their size. A full kit with needles, heavy-duty thread, safety pins, buttons, and even a thimble can fit into a small mint tin. You can stockpile dozens without taking up much space, and when the world collapses, they will be more valuable than flashy gadgets. While most people overlook them, dollar stores sell them for pocket change, making them a stealthy, high-leverage investment. If you want to boost your barter power, go beyond the basics. Stock needles strong enough for denim or canvas. Include waxed thread for durability and water resistance.